Hi there, Barry Tompkinson here, and I'm an MYOB Exo consultant at Focus Technology. With the end of the financial year fast approaching, this short video will serve as a reminder for the processes to be followed should your financial year end be on the 31st of March. There is also written documentation with screenshots which you may find useful to use alongside this video. First up, we recommend you check your version number of your MYOB Exo installation. Not everyone is aware of the version they are running, so now is a good chance to find out. So to do this, we first go to Help along the top and then About. You can see here that I'm using Exo version 2023.3. If you find that your version is more than 2 years out of date, then please talk to us about the benefits of upgrading. There have been many enhancements, not only to the look and feel of the software, but also to its security features. So first up, you will need to complete all of the procedures that you would normally complete before an end-of-month rollover and take a backup of your database. It is good practice to save this backup separately from your usual backups and rename it to reflect the end of the year. For example, EOY_2024_backup. to ensure it doesn't get inadvertently overwritten. Next up, open the end of period utility. So we go to Utilities and End of Period. Before rolling, we want to check the financial years and set up next year if it's not already been done. So if we go to Financial Year, and we can see this is the current year, and then we go to the next year, and there's nothing there. So you can add in the months by clicking Add and then checking that the month is correct. So April is in the first quarter, and we're looking at all dates in April, and then Save. So you can see there that populates that one, and then you go to the next one, Add, and it does May, Save, Add, Save, etc. The date should be correct. However, if for some reason they're not, they can be amended in the transaction entry validation screen. So this is here, transaction entry validation, dates in July. If for some reason it wasn't picking up the full month, then you can click on the dates between and manually set them. So let's just quickly add the rest of the year. So there we can see the rest of the year has now been added. Once you're happy the periods and the date ranges for the new financial year are correct, you can now close the financial year window. This will take you back to the end of period window. Tick all 4 ledgers as you would for a usual month-end rollover, but then also tick the end of the financial year box. So we're going to roll debtors, creditors, stock, and GL as we would normally, but also end of financial year. Next, you would click on the roll period, which is along the top here. Due to limitations of the demo database, I'm unable to action and show you this. As you have probably seen during your month-end rolls, you may get messages pop up saying that unposted transactions. You can still roll and post these later if you want to, or stop, post the transactions, and then carry on. It's entirely up to you. You may also get a foreign exchange entry prompt. Select yes or no, whatever you would normally do at month end. The final message you will get will be along the lines of, the new year is now the current year, and you can review the period's definitions and update if required. You should then get confirmation that the end of period roll is complete. Next, we'll move on to Analytics. If you use Analytics, you will also need to set up the new financial year in this module. Open the module, go to Setup, and then Set Up Analytics Years and click on New. Setup, Analytics Years, and then click on New. Enter the details, the name and start and end dates, and save. So we'll call it end of year 2026 to 27. Save. Next, we need to go back to the Setup menu and select Setup Months. we close that one, and go back to setup, and set up months. Select the year that we're wanting, so that's the latest one that we've just created, and then click on load. You will then get confirmation that the periods were successfully loaded. You can then click on save, so you say OK to that. That shows them all there, and click on save before closing. Again, that's grayed out. This one, that could be a limitation of the demo database. If you are using the sales budget facility and the run rate feature, you will also need to set up budgets and day plan. These can be done later if you wish. So the only other module that will need to be rolled is the fixed assets module. This does not automatically get rolled when rolling Exo Business. The reason for this is to give you the opportunity to finalize any asset additions or sales for March and post depreciation into the correct period. If you roll prematurely, the depreciation calculations for March will not be correct. The other important thing to remember is that you shouldn't post April depreciation before you have rolled into the new year. So please check that the year has been rolled before posting April depreciation. When you are ready to roll, go to Utilities, then Year-End Rollover. So Utilities and Year-End Rollover. And then click on Run EOY. Again, with the limitations of the demo database, I cannot show you this. However, you will be asked to confirm, and then you will get confirmation that it's completed. It's as easy as that. So that just about wraps up this video on the end of financial year processes. Should you have any problems or queries, please do not hesitate to get in touch.